the process of getting funding to support the work that needs to be done. So Mr. Chaure and the minister will not come with a bag of money to say now we have money for funding. But when a university identifies marine science and they say we need a professoral chair to run marine science, and this professor is going to work with 3 PhDs, and here is the concept note for marine science in Masvingo. What the Ministry of Skills Audit will do is come to do marine science with 3 PhDs over the next 4 years. What should we do? The permanent secretary will say, we have Nyarazo in the province. Let me call Nyarazo. And the permanent secretary will call Nyarazo and say, we have a professor at the university who wants to do marine science with 3 PhDs, who is the director, economic affairs and investments in the Ministry of, under the office of the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution. Is going to give us a presentation on the overview of the skills landscape in Masvingo province in context of the economic development plan. Let's put our hands as we go.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Trevor Chungwara, Director of Economic Affairs and Investment. I'm going to give you an overview of skills in Masvingo province. Okay, that's my overview. I'm going to talk about demographic overview, major resource endowments in Masvingo province, key economic sectors of Masvingo province, in-demand skills in the province, skills landscape, opportunities for skill development. Right, I will start with some demographic overview, where we are saying in Masvingo we have a population of about 1.6 million people, and 763,000 are males and 875,000 are female, constituting 47% and 53% respectively. And we are saying the ratio is 87 to 100 females. 87 males to 100 females. Let me look at major resource endowments in the province. We have minerals in Masvingo province, which include gold, lithium, granite, diamond, and other precious and semi-precious minerals. Which means mining contributes a lot to our economy. It's one of the major activities in our economy. So it's a major contributor to our GDP. Agriculture, the province is fertile land for agriculture, and the crops being produced are maize, cotton, sugarcane, tobacco, fruits and vegetables. So we are saying, again, agriculture is one of the major contributors of our GDP. Okay, go ahead. Water resources. I think our peers has alluded to the fact that 54% of dammed water is in Masvingo province. We have Lake Mtireko, which is closer to us. We have course, and many other dams in the province. And we are saying these water resources would support our agricultural activities, and as such, agriculture becomes our major activity because of plenty of water which can be channeled to irrigate, particularly sugar in the low veld. So we are saying we have a lot of water in the province. It's our endowment. And also have tourism assets. For example, we have our Great Zimbabwe Monument, we have Bonara Geog Park, we have some private and public conservancies, we have Lake Mtiripi and also Tubikos as tourism assets. We also have training institutions. Yes, we have our training institutions. We have Great Zimbabwe and we have Open University. Infrastructure, you're talking of roads, railway, energy facilities, wash facilities, telecommunication networks. All these facilities of the economy in Masvingo province. Our key sector is agriculture, followed by mining, tourism, construction, manufacturing, health services, commerce, education and training. These are the key sectors in the economy. Let's look at current status of the public sector employment. Masvingo province currently is authorized establishment of 28,117 people who should be employed in Masvingo province. In post, we have 24,830, vacancies we have 3,312, which means we have a 12% employment gap. So there's critical shortage of medical doctors, technicians, pharmacists, nurses, medical engineers. In the public sector, education still needs STEM and ECD teachers. The public sector is more than 50% short of technical staff. I've zeroed in on education, health, and our minister's office. In education, we are saying yes for primary and secondary schools with 72 vacancies. Then vacant posts, then deputy heads primary and secondary with 60 vacant posts, teachers ECD primary and secondary with 704 vacant posts, STEM with 81 vacant posts. Then health with medical officers, 24 vacant posts, nurses, 269 vacant posts, pharmacists, 6 vacant posts, radiographer and X-ray operators, 7 vacant posts. Then let's look at the Minister of State's office, economists, 2 vacant posts, then deputy directors, 3 vacant posts. This is what we have. But I've just zeroed in on these 3, but we have a lot of vacant posts in other sectors. So in demand skills, what skills do we need in Masvingo? We are saying agricultural skills. We are saying we need modern farming techniques, because we are saying our mainstay is agriculture. So we need farming techniques, agribusiness management, agricultural economics, agriculture engineering, so that this will sustain our agricultural production. Then tourism and hospitality skills. We need skills in tourism management, hospitality services, tour guiding, and conservation. So these are some of the skills which are highly in demand for province, because we lack those. We have a few personnel who can provide those skills. Mining and geology. So we need skills in mining engineering, geology, mineral processing, environmental management, and mine surveying. Then information and communication technology, ICT. We need skill in software development, artificial intelligence, data analysis, digital marketing, IT support, and IT support, which are very, very important in business organizations. Entrepreneurship and business management. We are saying we need business development, financial management, marketing, and planning skills, which are important so that we grow our GDP in the province. Healthcare and nursing skills. We need doctors, medical specialists, nurses, pharmacists, healthcare administrators, which are very vital so that we have a health workforce. And environmental science and conservation skills. We need skills in environmental science, conservation biology, wildlife management, environmental policy, which are very, very important for us to grow our economy machine. So what I've said above are the major skills that we need as a province so that we enhance our production, we enhance our GDP, we grow our economy machine. What are the challenges that we are facing? Freezing of posts. Normally here we are fairly to the public service. Sometimes the government frees some posts, recruitment to occupy certain posts, and that means in the province we have lack of some of the required skills because of the freezing of posts in the province. We also have some economic challenges, some of them climate induced, and some economic structural shocks that take place. And it becomes a challenge as a government to provide money or funding for training people. Lack of cohesion between industry and training institutions. Someone was saying some of the syllabuses that we are using were used a long before in the 1920s and may not match with the requirements of our current industry. So we need to change on an incremental basis. To go with the wrong challenge. The economics, let's add new aspects to economics. And at the biology, we also add some new aspects. I'm not trying to go answer sometimes change is very difficult to adopt. Maybe it brings a lot of work. So we need to change the syllabuses. What is required by the industry is what we should share. We give them the training that they need and not what they want. Is that correct? Right? Ministry of Skills and Development is coming late. So that means we are supposed to be there because already we have thousands well-educated street sweepers or some people are just roaming around. Bridge, speaking good English, talking about theories, but because the skill they have match what is required in the agency. So you are very late. So you should hit the ground running. What are our recommendations? We are saying, please, those learning institutions who are here, can you kindly revise your curriculum to cope with current and future development aspirations? We hope that the ministry will engage, make more engagement, and absorb what is required by people here, or participants, or contributions, and shall come up with some policies which will assist in skill development. Revamping and the rejuvenation of internship and apprentices. Mwana aripa attachment, mwana wechikoro anditi. My institutions, like my hotels, ndo vakuita basa rese. And on top of that, we don't pay them. Akauya kuzodzidza, but akutozi titoita mani kulowa kuita zvese. But instead of learning, they're no longer learning. They're not working. And some would not agree with me and say, we don't need that much. But I think there should be a mentor by inside. We must also, the ministry should also arrange some training arrangements and exchange programs with the regional and international institutions. My daughter's from China, but Magaina Nani should go with my universities in other institutions so that they also learn about what's happening in China, what is happening in Singapore, what is happening in Japan, the GT system in Japan. They should also learn. Further promotion of science subjects, STEM, in learning institutions. So we are saying, yes, something is taking place with regards to STEM, but we should work hard and introduce some more opportunities for STEM adoption. Promotion of digital economy is of paramount importance. My daughter should excel, she would say excel. But you will find there are certain people in offices who cannot even operate a computer. But that person is a manager, that person is a director. He can't operate it. He has to look for somebody from ICT to come and assist him. So we are saying we need, yes, people should go, even those who are old, just like me, it's always, they should also go for IT training. What's our conclusion? By acquiring and holding these in-demand skills, people in Masvingo province can enhance their employability, contribute to the local economy, and tap into emerging opportunities in various sectors. Continuous learning, professional development, and staying abreast of industrial trends can help individuals stay competitive in the job market and make meaningful contribution to the economic development of the province. So that's our conclusion. I thank you.
Thank you. Whilst you are still here, I'll ask anyone with questions or comments.
Let's say we have started. Just get some. Out of our 2022 census report, there was a census in the household survey, 2022. Those people amongst the 1,600,000 something, 4% had a tertiary qualification. 4% of those ones. Out of that 4%, ICT is people with an ICT qualification. we are talking about the fourth industrial revolution. 1.4% out of the percentage population of tertiary education. 1.4 is something related to ICTs. And we are talking about being an agricultural anchored provincial economy. Those people with qualifications in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and veterinary services, 4.5%. Natural sciences and statistics, 1.9%. So I'm just trying to show the level of the mismatch between where we want to go, our mainstay, agriculture, our ICTs, which is going to support and facilitate that, so that we see the landscape, provincial skills landscape in total, given the statistics.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pierce. 4%. That's terrible, isn't it?
Tertiary qualification.
Tertiary qualification. So, my certificates, yeah, this to use after my diploma, my degree, 1%. It's quite possible.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes.
Yes. Reactions, comments to these statistics and where we want to be as a province.
The majority is grade 1 and 6. I'm out of grades 7. Grade 1 to 6. Then grade 7, 13.5. Forms 1 to 3 plus now they are only for 13.8%. Those who completed Form 6, 2.3%. Was in the tertiary 4%. So
Yeah.
this is
Yes.
the architecture of our
Yes, I'm coming to you.
Maybe mine is not a comment, maybe it's not a question, it's a comment on one of the interesting challenges that you mentioned, that we have come late. There are two things that I would comment on that one. We have come late, we agree, but if you recall, there was, I think in the 1980s, there was a Ministry of Economy, it was Ministry of National Planning and Development. We are only resurrecting now. But we've been there. I knew by that time I was doing my plan, but I know that ministry was there. So we are now imaging from that ministry that was there day by day. And we have started not only hitting the ground, but making the ground hot. For the record, as of today, we have managed to have 29 stakeholder consultations with most of the guiding ministries, including their department agencies. For example, when you are talking of Ministry of Finance, you are talking of engagement with Zimbabwe, all those agencies that fall under the Ministry of Finance. We had 29 of them, and we've got 29 reports for the 29 consultations. For the provinces, Masvingo is our 60th consultation. On Friday will be Midlands. On Tuesday will be Manicaland. Next Wednesday, not Friday, will be Mashonaland. Then our final port of call will be Harare. So at Skomira. Then the after, we will have the findings. Then from there, I think we are going to have a dialogue with training institutions and try to implement some of the policy recommendations. So we are late, but very well. Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Children. But you have to do more.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll come to you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. As we were looking at the in-demand skills, I noticed that you looked at agriculture, tourism, etc. Coming from a higher education perspective, perspective, I was just contemplating whether we have the relevant pedagogical skills, that is the discipline-specific pedagogical skills for the different sectors, because going through an education needs appropriate training. So do we have appropriate pedagogical skills in those people who are instructing our graduates whom we are churning out of these institutions?
I think we need to iron sharpens iron.
I may attempt to answer that by referring to the program of the day. The Secretary for Provincial Affairs and Devolution giving an overview of the skills landscape, and it does not end there. And stakeholder representatives with key stakeholders. So it might not, it's not enough. Key specific contributions from specific stakeholders, urban, rural, urban, local authorities, higher education. I think that's an important contribution. What is the analysis of it? So they should be authoritative to say we have a shortage in pedagogical skills, for example. Then we might debate that, if need be. Otherwise, there are people from diverse backgrounds who should contribute to our provincial skills landscape from their own vantage point. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I think no part of what thank you, please. As the put up at the Slapasi Yuga. In nature, if I use the word arcade, maybe doesn't fit very well. I would say it needs renewal. And then but the skill in skill in college. Toitora you, I chatty, this is no good Jesus, you this no good. Toitora that skill, tell me some Jesus you are needing. Oh, we are going to lecture with Jesus you. So that exchange.
Thank you. I'll come to you.
Thank you, sir. The presenter was talking about a lack of synergy between the institutions of learning and the industries where our students go for attachment, which is correct. It also comes together with when they are doing their research topics in the universities. Who chooses the research topic? Is it the lecturer? Or are they taking the research topics from the country? Because we are developing a country so that we actually meet the demands of the country. In most cases, probably you find that maybe at doctoral level or even at professional, professor or what research, you find that the researcher will be forced to align to the funder. So it means the funder might not be somebody who is aligned to the development of Masvingo. So the outcome of the research that comes out, the findings will please either the lecturer who gave that research as the topic at the learning institution, or will please the funder instead of actually meeting the demands of the country. So we need to actually shift the paradigm. Thank you very much.
Dissertation, and the lecturers, we encourage that. We encourage that. I don't put that on the high school. I learn in school. So sometimes achapatani nezvinodiwa. Anditi? Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for letting us know what contains in Masvingo. I find the way we are here, that we are a round table of great thinkers. We should now sit down and say, okay, we have identified the skills gaps. Let's Zimbabwe eliminate because we just have to find each other. There's no way it can be business as usual because we have a task ahead of us. There's no way the ministry, after having identified all these things that they've identified, the permanent the secretary has highlighted some of those as well, for them to say, okay, we've done our part. They just have to be in the driving seat and bring all these heads together and say, so and so do this, so and so do that. The population is so small. I don't see why we should be having those vacancies. We can't wait for the central government to give us the salaries and everything that is driving our people away. We do have the resources we've sent. Why don't we retain those things and ensure that we pay our people good money and they don't run away? You don't know how many skills are out there in the diaspora of Zimbabweans. We are crying for skills, but they are there, enriching other countries. We have got a responsibility to also have that as part of this new ministry's job, to go and identify some of the skills that are out there and bring them home, make it attractive for them to want to come.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think Papula Nyabuti, something like that. I'm not talking about through India. Some say that, but the real California, you see. Yet it's only a particular area, you have a specialized. What if Tikatora Euro to patterns and then come up with a comprehensive degree program?
Thank you. Question number one, as we go into groups, speaking from what she said, she's getting into groups shortly. What are the practical initiatives and interventions? What are the practical initiatives and interventions to make Masvingo province attractive? Initiatives and interventions to make Masvingo province attractive as an economic hub. And we are looking from the lens of our skills, audit and development. That's question number one as we go into groups. In the Jacob monitor group, I'm Jacob and I don't say, man, but at least, I'm Jacob and I'm Jacob the other side. That's great Zimbabwe University, right? Once more.
Yes.
Yes. Once more the question, sorry. What are the practical initiatives and interventions to make Masvingo province attractive as an economic hub? Initiatives and interventions to make Masvingo province attractive as an economic hub. This question is important to us because it helps us to identify the skills that are needed in addition to what has been presented.
Okay, good morning. Mine is a contribution. I'm happy I have a platform to do the contribution. Last year I had an opportunity to go to China for a program, seminar on clean energy for developing countries. We had an opportunity to be taught certain courses. One thing I can assure you, I don't doubt the curriculum. Our curriculum is Zimbabwe. Our tertiary institutional curriculum, because I was there and I was excelling above other guys from other countries. One thing I have discovered I want to recommend is we should focus more on funding of the research and development. That's where we are lacking on. Research and development. I know principals from tertiary institution can draw knives out after this recommendation, but I think it will help. We can say we will not have the funding, but the suggestion is we can have the same suggestion, say 3% of all school fees that is going to be paid for the next 5 years. Let's channel it towards research and development. I think that will work because we are lacking on research and development. In China, you see, every institution we have laboratories. People are there doing researches. That's where we are lacking.
Thank you.
Yes, how far is education 5.0 gone in terms of funding research?
I don't have the...
I mean those who are in the institution.
Yeah.
Yes, the current government is actually doing a very good job in trying to advance the issue of based education 5.0 policies by funding, especially the state-owned institutions or universities. They are given grants to develop innovation hubs. But that lacks in the private universities. We don't access any grant from the government, but we are supposed to be doing that, developing hubs. But because of competing resources which are scarce, you will find out that we might be lagging behind, but we are struggling to do that. So as far as the innovation hubs, the government is doing a lot in terms of that area. But as he is alluding to, in terms of research, the previous speaker, research and development is critical for any nation. For the development of new goods and services, there is need for indulging into research and development as much as possible. Without that, we will not go anywhere.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm on the same issue that the President has presented on in relation to collaboration between institutions of higher learning and the industry. I'd like to touch on two things. The issue of attachments and the issue of research. I've realized that I'm coming from the industry, from State of Nation. I've realized that no one has research. As I have 2 weeks, I know something that dissertation. I'm going to new topic. I'm going to talk with the authority, with the data, the collection of data. Within 2 weeks, I think I have to pay. I don't know submit. Then thereafter, I don't go where Mumba authority. But I'm just someone I think that's actually by organization. The next thing, what on I don't know submit. It is a temporary approval. Then the actual approval is what I want to say. But what are those approval? What I want distinction. Is it research? It's just something that I'm going to desktop research. That's my first point. Then my second point, then my attachments. We are adding various forms. In the Institute of Higher Learning, I communicate the industry. Initially, we knew that we end up with attachment maybe not December, but January or not July or August. But I know I want to the role where about is it. We have attachment for 5 weeks from the social week. And we are packaged with Maractora, say, Pacosar. Here are 2 weeks, but we are doing business. But we are doing the same 1 week. Where are we going to accommodate those people? And you want to invest around the industry. We are going to have discounts in attachment in 5 weeks, 1 week. We are going to be like, what I put an so I think there needs to be collaboration. You communicate to us that attachment that 1 week. Zvii zvinofana kuita kana wacho dai community service ye5 weeks. Zvii zvinofana kuzviitika ari attachment ye atoziva ye mazuva ese conventional attachment. Zvii zvinofana kuzviitika. But that communication.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I like that. And that's the reason why most private sector organizations.
Yeah. For their reaction.
Why most institutions are not funding research and development in this country? Because it's of no value. There is no way you can convince Masvingo City to give a grant your research because they've never seen it work. I did that in my organization. I gave an award to one institution. They said, you're going to give an award for sustainable and responsible innovation to your institution every year for the next 5 years, including cash on that award. First year, they said, we have a student for the award. Give me the details. I was given the details 2 days before graduation. What has he done? Can you please write to me to know what this student has done to deserve this award? Nothing came. We gave the award. Second year, we received the name. No information, nothing was done. And then I said, I'm stopping, I'm not going to continue doing that. So our institutions of learning, the reason why the private sector is not supportive of learning institutions is because of these issues. We see that there is no value coming out of that. So why should we give money? Delta will then give money to sports. They fund sports every year. If you tell them we need to fund research and development in university, they will not put their money there because it's a waste of money and resources. So we need to revisit some of these
Thank you so much, Dr. Shlopere. The issue of research, or maybe let me start with the coordination between universities and industry. That is very critical and we cannot run away from it. It is the backbone of the development of any nation. But what actually happens is that researchers do their researches on their own and industry don't follow those researches. What I know exactly happens is that funding should follow the research, not the research to follow funding. Because we publish, we do research, we do community engagements and so forth. Industry should pick into those researches and say, this affects us. Then it is to pursue it. That's when it should now come with a package to fund the kind of research that can be done by those researchers. But in this country, I haven't seen anywhere where a firm has actually followed someone's research and say, we would want to probe you further into researching further in this particular area. So that is where we are lacking the link between industry and universities. But actually, it should be the industries. Because we generate new knowledge for the industries to use. And if that knowledge is not generated by the universities, the industry will suffer. So the only way to probe industries is for them to follow up with the research.
But Mazwana, I think what is happening,
Yes.
Vasikana vemazwana, sorry, Vasikana vemazwana wakaona kuti hausi pfimba, they approach you. I think that's what you should also do. The research should also follow you. Look for and the university will say, research can we get funding from them? Not to say, doc, or professor, could you do this for us?
But Dr. Shlopere is into research. I've come across him on issues to do with research, and you would know and understand that there is no way you can just approach a company. Because I was seeing out to Jordan, there's no ability. So I have to go man. Idea properly. It is something to do with our profits, to increase the profits for the organization. Don't go man. haikuona kuti unova approach wakafanana nomunhu anotokwereta unonyimwa.
Okay, I'm coming there.
Okay, thank you. My comment is on this animal principle was as part of our skills landscape. We are aware that we have people who are daring, we have this diaspora call, we have deaf, we have also resignations and promotions, some are promotional transfers. So if we maintain the policy of freezing costs, one who lives is not being replaced and not even replaced in time. Are we not crippling the economy that we want to develop, the provisions that we want to sustain? For example, I'm coming from the health sector. You can see how many nurses and doctors are flying out, how many are retiring due to age. Now the gaps are glaring. So how can that sector really perform to the expected levels? I think that this August House or the ministry responsible for skills, whatever, you can actually look for a vision of that policy. Because what my understanding is that the budget will be there, and we have say 20 people on it, and we say the costs are frozen. What do we want to use those resources for? Since they were already made for this particular establishment. Thank you.
Thank you. We're taking notes of that, lobbying on that policy around this course.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. For me, I think it all has to do with attitude. For me, I sent my research proposal to Great Zimbabwe. My vision was to be given a platform where I can start what we call pioneer text production. Pioneer text production, we go to until we've got farmers from Residu Valley who are doing my pineapple. So pioneer text now, it's a fabric that is produced after we do the processing of material, my leaves, in my pineapples. Till now, I haven't gotten a response, but these are skills that you know, Masvingo. I've got this thing that I need to produce and this thing that I think can be changing in terms of the textile industry. I did my the polytechnic degree in textile designing and stuff, but I haven't gotten any opportunity from even the industrial staff to start by coming up with those skills that would have learned from school. So for me, I think we are concentrating much on how people should learn and stuff, but no one is concentrating also on making even a skill center for people to do all this other stuff after they've gained my skills at home. At Naga Natural Skill Center within Masvingo, but we have different institutions like Henry Mari, Kapota, just as we want to produce our arts and crafts. But is there any big museum or if there anywhere where we can say, okay, this is where we are now selling my crafts, my sons and stuff, besides them being sold to Homesicker and everywhere else. But is there anything like that? There's nothing.
Thank you. Masvingo Skills Center and Museum. And when Mr. Chaure came from China, he was showing us the World Skills website, where they are always doing skills exports, showing the skills in the provinces and developing those skills. It is the responsibility of us in this room to have a skills export where people can come and showcase. That was our plan when we were coming from provinces, to actually have day one, something like this. Day two was supposed to be a skills export. We have some kids in this province who are in the rural communities. No one is going to see them. And that skill is going to die unnoticed as we focused here. And the statistics that P has shared here really should not frighten. To then say, what are our learning institutions? We are focusing on 2%, 3% of the population and ignoring everyone else. Do we have programs for continuing education? We learned that in Bindula, Ezekiel University. Anyone without any degree, without even grade 7, can enroll on continuous education program. Does our community know that we have programs like that, where someone who has grade 1 certificate can enroll at a university, Great Zimbabwe University, do a course, get a skill, the skill is refined, the skill is developed, and we showcase those skills. We still need to work on those areas. So we are taking note, Masvingo Skills Development Center, Expo, and things to happen. And remember, it's not the Minister of Schools body that is going to do that. It's us, the stakeholders here. You will just invite us to say, Ministry, we have a Skills Expo. Can you come and see what we are doing? And you just come there, eat biscuits and tea, and smile and enjoy the biscuits, knowing that things are happening. So the ministry is not going to organize a Skills Expo in Masvingo. We need the initiatives to come from these programs. So we'll just be advocating for those things to happen. I'll come.
Okay, my comment was, when you talk about mostly our researches, our learned prof said something, but I was asking to say, let our researches, whether at PhD level, be problem-centered. Mostly we are crafting our problem statements or research problems in tertiary institutions. Some we are just looking for to be kept, maybe to have the red cap, maybe to make the shortcut to be there, but it's not problem-centered. It's not vision-centered to say I'm addressing maybe a national policy issue that I'm trying to bring into light to enhance maybe industrial revolution in Masvingo, for instance. So I would say most of our research is in academic institutions. It's not, if I would say, the private sector won't even have a buy-in or other government institutions because it's not addressing a particular need issue in that particular industrial sector on the day-to-day running of their particular issues. Mr. Nume wants a PhD at the end of the day. He wants the care. He wants to be accorded. And my supervisor wants to be said, he's supervising maybe 20 students to rub on his shoulder. It has nothing to do with even our needs or our problems. So from that presentation that you have, Mr. Chingwara, the skill gap will always be there, and our problems will always be there, because the tertiary institutions are going on the east, and industry is going on the west, and nobody is looking where the other is going. There are two different directions here. So even to say on your presentation, I noted that you were saying the demand skills. If there are so much agricultural, tourism, mining, geology, ICT, entrepreneurship, let's just do it with guesswork here. All the tertiary, you say you have an endowment of tertiary institutions. How many are offering any of the two? Those demand skills in Masvingo province. So I'm saying, when I say the others are going west, the others are going east. We still always have those problems. So I'm challenging the tertiary institutions to say, guys, let's refocus our energy to where what is needing us. We say developing countries are very developed, but you go to a particular, maybe you go to Eastern Cape or you go to Cape Town. They do agriculture in Cape Town. Even if maybe they are focusing on agriculture to promote what they are harnessing, what they say is their endowment in the particular area. If you get the point. So we're now they are not getting their skills, they are remaining redundant there. It's because there are no institution in the locality who are keeping them in, taking them in and enhancing their skills to be relevant in their locality. They will die there. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and we had an example from Lupane State. When they got to Lupane, pass rate of all schools around Lupane was 0%. And they said, so why are we here? Where would we get the students if there's 0%? They started a program of supporting the schools in that community. And now, of the 24 or something schools, only 6 still have 0%. And they are battling to ensure that the schools will get a first rate. So the university is now becoming relevant to the community. They are pushing the grade 7 pass rate so that they get students, they develop people in that community. So those are the kind of arrangements that we want to see happening in every province. Zimbabwe Ezekiel was saying we go into communities, do awareness programs. Vatambuya vari kumaruzevha uyai kuuniversity mudzidze muite skills and data science. And when they continue doing that, we start making that rural industrialization more practical. And it's not so those are things that we are advocating as we continue.
Exactly, reminded me of during the days when we were doing this was Zimbabwe. We were ushered to go to schools to do what was called teaching local awareness. I'm sure that some of the people once I did remember the program. On the undergrad, during their semester breaks, they would go to schools, secondary schools, and promote their communities. And that program was called TIA. I think it means teaching in rural areas, so that they alleviate the 0% class rate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll take a few comments so that we proceed.
Thank you. Yeah, my comment is on our research. I think our research is not speaking to the demands from both the industry or the population. I don't personally believe we have no funding or no resources to support research. But I think our research is irrelevant and is not talking to issues that concern the population or industry. So we end up having a scenario where we are just pointing fingers at each other. I also want to believe the way we are attending to these issues, the development questions that might be coming from industry or from the generality of our population, we may need to actually go and interrogate, maybe a survey or establish issues and talk to industry, talk to the population. I think we will then be able to pick issues that need to be addressed by research. And that research becomes very relevant, and I want to believe everybody will be keen to support the research that answers their problem. But as long as we are kind of creating an answer before getting the problem, one way or another, there will be a mismatch between the problem and the answer that we have. I think sometimes our research tends to be more academic than addressing the day-to-day issues that affect our population. And I think as a province, if we are going to be framing out something that should address issues that have to do with development of our province, we need to come together and see where are our issues and how can research speak to our issues. How can we better understand them, or what are the interventions that are relevant that we need to be putting in place? Once we have that, I want to believe we'll always have prioritization of resources to address burning issues. Once the issue is burning, to me, I think people will look for resources. The resources will be prioritized and directed to address those issues. But as long as research believes they are doing their best and industry and maybe the population is not buying in, and the population feels research is irrelevant and it's not addressing their issues, we will be having a lot of academic institutions, research papers are published and PhDs, a lot of them, but we'll still have the problem. So I think we need to have those things talking to each other.
Allow me to report myself.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I like the presentation. I think, in fact, I just want to make this clear. This is the import of this interface with the academia, with business, with everyone who matters in the province. We've opened a dialogue facilitated by Ministry of Skills, Audit and Development. We are here to find each other. We like the feedback. Remember, in my opening remarks, I was talking about market-facing skills. Where are they coming from? They are coming from industry. They are coming from the generality of the populace. What do you want? Our programming in Zimbabwe is hinged on results-based management. We respond, if we want to be relevant, we should respond to needs, societal needs and problems. Don't teach us to reach relevant. In the presentation, one skill which should be there is research skills. We lack those ones. The Mr. Chingwara director was alluding to the fact even if the gentleman from Masvingo City Council, and in 2 weeks it is done. And that person, if it is a post-grad qualification, he or she will be asked to supervise research students. What comes out from there? You can imagine, it's catastrophic because I have no child for that area. And even by programming here in Zimbabwe, you find that we have this important area of monitoring and evaluation. Tinema baseline. We are planning to do this, then we ask, what is the baseline? Where are we? We are getting a lot of problems. Why? Because of lack of research skills. But I need funding. When I do Audit, Takaita Road, Harare to Beit Bridge, say it's completed. What is the outcome? That road, 400 to 500 kilometers, it's nothing but an output. What changes life is outcome. What is the contribution to the livelihoods? Pandulai said, but do we have primary? What about secondary data? Tikaenda kuma prisa, for example, tinema kuma indicators before that road, how many accidents occurred? Tikaenda ku traffic safety council. That information is there. Desk research can let us come up with baseline. So the issue of research is of paramount importance as a skill which needs to be imparted. Thank you.
Thank you. Before kids are taken to a tertiary institution or to a primary school, they are first housed by parents. And they are very and that's a skill. Mwana ajare achiziva makweyo or whoever. That's taught at school. But what we identify pamwana chekutanga as skills, which we are discussing about today. And those skills, some of us have killed those skills in our kids. And we are seated here today trying to say, how do we resuscitate those skills that we as parents have killed in our kids? So first of all, let's not point fingers at tertiary institutions. Let's point fingers at ourselves as parents. What have I done as a parent to kill my skills in mwana wangu? Am I able to identify skills pamwana wangu inini? Ndisati ndamuyendesa kuchikoro. My skills alipamwana wangu ndi api. Alikubata waya achisunga achiita zvimota. Ndokana makanika atogara atoratidza kuti ane chipo chekusunga zvinhu handiti. But you're always reprimanding mwana iyeye kuti aiwa inosakaro manomura zvinhu zvangu unoita so. Pane kuti tihanese that talent. Then the other thing is growing up. Taiwan Craft Center, Masvingo. It's dead. People are still here in Masvingo. Tine talent, tine whatever. But I don't know what killed that craft center. We need to revisit and find out. Pachaimbo was viable. What made it viable? I'm sure people are still doing masa and whatever. We can still bring those things, identify. I feel like we are lazy. We are good at talking, but we are lazy at implementing. Right now, this is just going to be one day we wasted. Tichiona mvura, tikatonhorwa, tikaita maflu, then we part ways, and now